Hi, I'm Beth Frericks, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications with Chief Industries, and I'm here today with Dan Codispot, the General Manager for Chief Fabrication. And as we continue to celebrate Chief's 70th anniversary, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into Chief Fabrication's history and what we're looking forward to in the future. So Dan, let's kick it off a little bit with, tell me about the milestones that maybe have defined Chief Fabrication over the past few years.
So a couple key additions to Chief Fab. One would be our powder coat system. So we have the biggest powder coat system between Chicago and Denver. Also, we put in state-of-the-art fiber system with a Stopa system, which is an automated loading and offloading, as well as adding large format punches. We continue to upgrade our press brakes. We just added a press brake, and then we're continuing to look at other equipment as the need arises.
And undoubtedly, equipment has to be replaced. But are there other factors that play into that? Are you making parts that are larger now, different sizes? What has played into needing some of this new equipment?
Speed, the increased speed, and to be competitive. Our customers are expecting us to improve year over year, and so we're always looking at different equipment that can make us a better asset to our customer base.
And you talked about the powder coat system. Talk us through a little bit about what does the powder coat system look like?
So our system is a continuous run line. So we have a loading station, and then it goes through a 6-stage wash. And then we have the capability of adding a primer for those customers that require it, and then we have a infrared oven that cures that before it goes into the paint booth, the automated paint booth, and then we have a spray to waste, and then goes through our oven. So our system is different from other system in that it's a 2-story, so it goes upstairs. So the building that it's in is over 40 feet tall.
Wow, that makes a huge difference for what you guys are able to do here. And obviously with the 40-year anniversary for Chief Fabrication this year too,
Yes.
There has been a lot of growth, but there also comes challenges with that growth. Can you talk a little bit about what those challenges have been?
So as you develop and grow your business, you need seasoned individuals. We can't do the work here without our personnel. So that has been the biggest challenge, getting people that are certified welders, and just in general, people that want to come to work and learn a new skill.
So have you partnered with any local schools or any local programs that allowed you to get maybe young individuals into the workforce?
So we have 2 programs that we participate in. One is CPI, which is actually just south of us, high school related to the different trades. And then we also partner with CCC for their welding program.
And I know CPI, the Career Pathways, they have talked a lot about their apprenticeship program. And I know Chief Fabrication has participated in that. Do you know, what does that program look like for you guys?
So we let them come to work after school, and they'll probably work 4 or 5 hours. So it's on a part-time basis, but then when they're off, like in the summers, or if they have an extended a winter break, they'll work full-time for us, and then so they get hands-on experience and on-the-job training to develop their skill.
Have you seen any of these students stay after their apprenticeship had ended?
We have probably 3 or 4 that have stayed.
Wow.
Others have moved on, but you got to train everybody, and some people stay, some people won't.
Yep. And I think that's true of customers as well. I know you guys have a great reputation of having long-term customers, but that also has to pose some challenges for you too with how long it takes to accumulate those customers.
So our sales process typically, if it's a new product, can take up to 18 months before you're producing that. And then once you're producing that, that's a long-term strategy. So we don't have a lot of short-term, something that comes in and goes out. So most of our customers are long-term. So you have to provide quality, you have to deliver on time, and you have to be competitive in price.
And so we talked a little bit about the challenges, but we really want to focus on some of those successes and innovations. Can you talk, I know earlier you talked about some of the innovations that you have brought in with equipment, but can you expand a little bit more on the equipment and how those innovations has also helped to transform the partners you're working with?
So we just bought a new Cobot, which is a collaborative robot for our welding department. And what that's done for us is enabled us to do a very complex weldment that manually we couldn't have made the time. And so we were able to get a project because we invested in that. So we're going to continue looking at that. And we had another project that we won, but doesn't start till 2026. So, but that is through investing in that new technology and new equipment.
And some of the videos that I've actually seen on your Facebook page, I believe there was a tube bender. Is that something that's new for you guys, or how long have you been doing?
So we had a tube bender, and then we just bought another tube bender that goes up to a 3-inch diameter. And so that lends a lot of our business is handrail work, but the tube bender allows us to go to 3-inch and make larger components than we typically make.
So you guys are constantly reinventing yourselves or new products. How does that help with the building of a relationship with a customer? So talk a little bit about what those relationships with your customers look like, and how long does those relationships take to build?
So I've only been here a very short time relative to most everybody else, but there were projects prior to me coming here that we got in 21. And they continue to grow. So they take 2 years at least. But once you get in, you still have to perform. So we, focus on safely producing quality parts on time and offering the customer a total solution versus just supplying parts.
And what is the length of time that some of your longest customers have been with Chief Fabrication?
So we have a couple customers that are probably over 20 years, some larger customers, and we continue to grow business with them.
And as we think about continuing to grow, what would you say is in the future for the next 7 years for your success? What are you looking forward to?
So we have some other opportunities outside of our current business, and I think that getting new technology, it'll be interesting to see where artificial intelligence plays in that to make you more competitive. We still have business that requires hands-on, always will, but there's a happy mix between doing automated work and manual work.
And I believe you had mentioned to me in the past that the automated work is typically the less complex, and so it can go faster, where your team of people are really looking at that complex work. Is that right?
Correct. So our employees in our weld, they have to fit everything up. So we use fixtures and jigs, and doesn't really lend itself to a robot. So you have to have that sort of talent that can read blueprints and do welds and fit. So that does take a skill set that a robot does not have, or a Cobot does not have.
With Chief Fabrication, you are supplying a lot of different parts to a lot of different companies. So with these parts, are they typically the same piece over and over again that you're putting out? Is it a completed product that you're putting out? What are some of the pieces that Chief Fabrication actually is making?
So we make parts for the agricultural industry. We also make for the parcel. So there's parts on sprayers, tractors, combines, and we do a few parts for the automotive, not a whole lot, but the parts they can weld on different parts throughout the day. Some of our volumes are 500 pieces to 5,000 pieces a year, so it varies, but they don't do the same part more than once a day.
And we know that there's always going to be a need to feed the world, and there's always going to need to be that agricultural producer out there that needs these parts and these products that you're able to supply. So there's obviously a lot of room for growth at Chief Fabrication. And so Dan, thank you so much for spending your time with me this morning, and we can't wait to see the success for Chief Fabrication to the future.
Thank you.